just go ahead and skip the preamble and get straight to the point. Hi guys, my name is Deepak Shukla, founder at Preamble Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA and serving clients worldwide. And here today in day 23 of 119 days of cold calling training, we're here to talk about skipping the preamble. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link below to get an additional 17 strategies not shared in this training. So fundamentally, when it comes to skipping the preamble, one of the things I hear callers do or say on the phone is something to the effect of, so Deepak, let's do Richard, my American accent again. So Deepak, what I wanted to talk to you today about was, and this let's imagine now that I'm offering, for example, myself sales training services, right? So Deepak, what I was hoping to talk to you today about was, learning more about how we could potentially be of service in terms of helping your company with more effective sales training. So do you see there that there was a lot of what we call at Pearl Lemon preamble, okay? A lot of stuff that really wasn't central to the actual value of the pitch itself. Versus, if you hear what I said, versus a good morning, Deepak. Now I understand that sales is a big part of your organization. Is that correct? Pardon me if I'm asking an obvious question. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, fantastic. What if I told you that I could increase your sales returns in just 8 hours a month? And the way that I do that is through sales training with. Now, can you hear what I'm doing there, guys? Of course, the pitch is to be worked out. Of course, the fact that I'm doing an American accent, a bad one's probably throwing me off. But the point is that there's a lot of basically useless words that are used at times within a pitch. Now, there's times to use, let's call them filler words, when you're building rapport or you want to present a particular version of yourself. But when it comes to the core of the pitch or explaining the service, there can be no room for preamble. And preamble, interestingly enough, often comes in where someone is not quite clear on the product offering itself or not quite clear how to make the product offering sound succinct. And ironically, that happens when someone's not quite clear on the product. So you'll often see preamble slipping into a lot of sales calls from a lot of salespeople, because what are we all good at doing as salespeople? We're very good at speaking, okay? And we struggle when it comes to listening. But the fundamental part, as we're focusing on the pitch here, is that you gotta basically minimize minimize the preamble itself, okay? So words, I mean, we'll come to kind of filler words, because it's not filler words as such. It's more to do with beating around the bush and not being clear about what you do. So there's lots of ways that this presents, if you think of it a little bit like a disease, right? A disease that I see vomit from the mouth of a lot of people that get on the phone, and there's too much preamble. Whenever, some of my team struggle with this when they place cold calls, when we go through the initial training. Some of the people that pitch me whenever I do pick up cold calls have this challenge as well. And the problem is, and I'll often come in for them and say, look, get to the point. What are you trying to sell to me? That depending upon the person that you're talking to, preamble can work, but oftentimes it's better to come straight to the point if it's a busy decision maker. And regardless of all of that, preamble, unless done purposefully, isn't really serving the purpose, okay? So another example of it might be, let's imagine, you're trying to sell sales training again. So what we do at Lemon Sales, Deepak, is we help offer sales. We help offer a training program that's going to take your team through an incredible series of development, and along that journey, they're going to get a whole series of. Do you see that with that, I'm just saying a bunch of words that don't make it clear enough what the product offering actually is, okay? It needs to be simpler and it needs to be clearer. And the problem that often comes up is preamble, okay? It's get to the point. And there's probably different ways to communicate this. But the best way to identify this is to have a script that's written down, to look at the script, but then to compare the script with what you actually do on a call and identify the challenges with your content and what's actually being said. And then you'll be able to minimize a lot of the fluff, a lot of the jargon, a lot of the other challenges that come up on the call, skip the preamble and get to the point and say something to the effect, hello, Deepak, my name's Frank, calling from Preamble Sales. We're a sales training organization, and what we do is we specialize in helping businesses like yours increase their sales. Now, what if I told you through our sales training enablement services, we are able to increase your revenue in just 4 hours a month by 15%? What would 15% mean to your business? Is that what, another $100,000? So can you see that there it's getting a lot more straight to the point? There's questions that are being asked, and it's a lot more tighter and cogent pitch as opposed to the preamble, I guess, for want of a better word. Right, guys, I hope that makes sense. Please do skip the preamble.
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.